Okay, so this video clip just quickly highlights some of the issues in RU01, so the chick farm. It's a fairly straightforward calculation. You see that they had 4 different profit calculations, and then at the end they multiplied by the probabilities to get the expected value. So that's there at the bottom. Okay, so I don't think there was anything funny here except maybe the R1. Remember, that's for all 50,000 chickens. So there's R1 for the cost of the dead chickens and R1 for the live chickens. So we have to buy all the chickens. We don't know which ones are going to die. And then we have to feed the chickens that will die for half their lifetime, which is 16 weeks. So just remember that the dead chickens still needs to be fed until they die. So they die on average after 16 weeks. I think the only issue here was the perfect information. So remember, the price of perfect information, or the value of perfect information, is the difference between the expected value without that information, which in this case is the 64,690, and the value of the expected value with perfect information, which is this 96,250. So why did it change? Remember, they said you must look for the difference caused in expected value with having or using this perfect information. In this case, they will eliminate infectious diseases. So where do we have the effect of infectious diseases? Under the possible cause, there won't be any infectious diseases. Under the probable cause or outcome, also no infectious diseases. Then in the worst case scenario, there's 20% chance of infectious diseases. So if we eliminate this 20% chance of infectious diseases, what will happen to this worst case scenario's outcome? Well, what is the difference between the probable outcome and the worst case outcome? It's that 20% of chickens that die. So the outcome of the worst case scenario will be exactly the same as the outcome of the probable scenario. Because the only difference is that 20% infectious diseases. So that's why if you look at the value of perfect information, they basically kept the outcome of the possible and the probable cause the same, and then changed the worst case scenario to the probable outcome of 83,100 times the probability of the worst case scenario at 30%. Another shortcut would have been to say, well, the possible scenario, this one, is 25% likely, and now the probable scenario is 75% likely, which is the combined probability of the probable, which is 45, and the worst case, which is 30%. So obviously then our new expected value will be higher because we won't have any deaths from the infectious diseases. How much higher is the expected value? So it's the difference of the expected value with perfect information and the expected value without, and that's 31,560. So the next question, I think it says, will John always be better off with perfect information? And the answer is no, because if they come back, if the best case scenario happens and he had paid for the perfect information, remember there wouldn't have been any deaths from the infectious diseases anyway, so he'll make his best case profit and he'll have to pay for the expected value, the perfect information. So so number 4 asks for which type of investor would buy perfect information. It's a risk-averse decision makers, because you can limit your losses by paying for perfect information, but you can't change your best case outcome into a more positive outcome. So remember, if you pay for perfect information, they don't change the probabilities of what will happen. So if they come back with good news, you would have gotten the good news anyways if you had gone in blind. So you'll actually pay for perfect information that didn't change your behavior or your outcome. Whereas if they come back with bad news, they might limit you making a loss, or they might cause you not to go ahead, and that will limit your losses. So in this case, John will only be better off in the event where there would have been infectious diseases, and now we can eliminate